Good morning and welcome to yet another online tutorial on microwaves and antennas. So we have been discussing problems in antennas, right, about various spatial parameters. So in today's session, we'll see another very important parameter of an antenna, right? That is actually effective height of an antenna, right? It's something similar to the effective aperture what we have learned. So we have studied effective aperture, like effective aperture or effective area AE as a ratio of power delivered to the receiver by an antenna or power received by an antenna to the power density. So power received, the unit was watts, and power density, the unit was watts per meter square. Right. So you will get the effective area in meter square. So this is how effective area was defined. So we could find the power received as the product of power density into effective area. And we also have seen effective area, it is actually what epsilon AP times physical area, right? So physical area is the actual area of the antenna, right? So these the concept of effective aperture, right, we can use for aperture type antennas. So that makes sense. But if it is tower type antenna or wire antenna, then discussing about effective area, even though mathematically we can discuss about the effective area, but logically when we are thinking, we won't be much satisfied. So for such antennas, so tower types of antenna or wire type of antenna, we come up with a similar parameter, that is effective height. Even I'm not telling effective height is defined only for wire antenna and effective aperture only for this. Both AE and HE can be defined for wire antenna or aperture antenna, but for our convenience, right, and for to satisfy our logic, right, we'll be doing this. This is again related to actually what aperture. So we'll at the end we'll see how this is related to effective aperture, right? So so today's agenda is we'll study the definitions of effective height, right? So like how effective aperture is defined as ratio of power received to the power density at the antenna, right? We can define effective height, right? We can define effective height like that. Then effective, as a example, we'll see effective height of a half wave dipole and a short dipole. So even though we have not studied about the short dipole or a half wave dipole in this particular module, but for you to appreciate this concept, I have to discuss this. This is an example, so it can be asked as a derivation or a problem in your exam, right? If the exam is going to be a bit tough, right? These questions you can expect. Then we come up with the relation, how this effective height is related to actual height or physical height. We'll call it HP, right? Actual height, physical height, and how effective height and effective aperture are related. This is topics which we have to discuss today, right? So let us consider there is an antenna, right? Say a wire type antenna of physical height HP, right? Of physical height HP, and it is immersed in an electric field, right? It is immersed in an electric field with field intensity E, right? The field intensity near the antenna is E, right? Then this electric field will induce some voltage. This electric field will induce some voltage on this antenna, which is a conductor, right? So that voltage can be expressed in terms of electric field. Actually, right? Actually, this voltage can be expressed in terms of actually what this effective height and electric field of an antenna. So HE dot E, right? This is the actual definition. So which means it is HE times E times cos theta, right? Where theta, right? If antenna is aligned like this, and if electric field is aligned like this, the separation between the angular, right, angle between the orientation of antenna and orientation of electric field, that is actually what theta. But in most of the cases, we will assume this antenna has, this electric field has same polarization as that of antenna, right? So in that case, I will write a statement now, right? I will write a statement now, right? So please note it down. I didn't tell you what is effective height, right? Multiplying effective height multiplying effective height HE, right, with the incident field, incident field E, whose unit will be volt per meter, right, of same polarity, will give us the induced voltage, right? Will give the induced voltage, right? Will give the induced voltage. When I write the mathematical expression, you will be comfortable with this. So which means, right? Which means the induced voltage V can be represented as HE times E. Induced voltage E can be represented as HE times E. So the scenario is there is an antenna immersed in some electric field E. We are assuming the antenna and electric field have same polarization, not polarity. Sorry, I have written polarity. It should have been polarization, right? So antenna and electric field are having same polarization. Then induced voltage V can be expressed as HE times E, or effective height HE can be written as the ratio of induced voltage to the incident electric field, right? So this is actually effective height, right? Effective height can be represented as the ratio of induced voltage to electric field, just like how effective aperture was the ratio of power received to the power density. Here power was watts, power density is units of watts per meter square, right? So here again unit of voltage is actually what? Volt, and unit of field intensity is volt per meter, right? So volt by volt per meter, so the unit will be actually what? Meter. The unit of effective height is actually what? Meter, and it can be defined as, I'll write here now, ratio of induced voltage to an incident electric field intensity, right? So this is how effective height is defined. But in the more general case, actually what? HE is a vector. In more general case, HE can be defined as a vector where V will be equal to HE dot E, where HE is actually what? A vector of the length, effective height of antenna, and orientation will be actually what? The direction in which antenna is oriented, and E is the electric field vector. So if H and E are, the angle between H and E is theta equal to 0, then we can write like this. So this is a special case actually what? For same polarization. So we'll be assuming the polarization is same. If polarization is not same, then we'll have to find actually what? Magnitude of HE times magnitude of E times cos theta. So we don't have to discuss about this. We will be defining antenna effective height like this. So I'll tell once again, it is a ratio of induced voltage to the incident electric field intensity. That is how effective height is defined, and the unit is meter. So that is the first thing which you have to keep in mind. So it is something related to aperture, right? So I told for wire type of antenna or tower type of antenna, right? So we'll be mostly interested in actually its height than its area, right? That's why we are calling it as effective height, right? So this is one of the definitions. This is one definition of effective height, that is ratio of induced voltage to the incident field intensity. Right? Is it clear? Any doubt in this? It's just a definition what I told. If any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, I'll go ahead. Right? Please, any doubt, sir, please feel free to stop me. So that is one way of defining it. Right. Now, right. So I can tell in other words, right? Right. Suppose I have an antenna. Suppose I have a wire antenna of physical length equal to actually what? Physical length equal to HP or L. Actual length is L. Right. And if it is immersed in an electric field of field intensity E, right? So let us assume an antenna of physical length HP equal to L is immersed in an electric field E, right? Then this electric field will induce some voltage on this antenna depending upon the length and whatever be the actually what frequency of electromagnetic wave, and depending upon the length or based on the lambda of electromagnetic wave and depending upon this length, this electric field will induce some voltage, right? This E will induce V on metal on antenna, right? E will induce V on antenna. If V is there, definitely actually what there will be IE also. If potential difference is there through a metal, current will flow for sure, right? So electric field will induce voltage, and that in turn actually what will cause some current to flow through the antenna. That is, suppose if the antenna is used as actually what a receiving antenna, I'm telling, right? So electric field induces a voltage, and it in turn will cause a current to flow. So now I'm telling, if voltage is uniform across antenna, if voltage distribution, right, voltage distribution is uniform across antenna, right, voltage Yeah, am I audible now? Sorry, I actually I lost my connection and I joined back. Am I audible and my screen is visible?
Yes,
Please
sir. Yes,
respond.
sir.
Okay, okay. In between, I got disconnected. There was a power issue here, right? Yeah. So what I'm telling is, if voltage induced is uniform, right? If voltage induced across the antenna is uniform, or the current induced is uniform, that is, the current and voltage induced is same everywhere along the length of the antenna. If the current induced is some, if I can draw the distribution of voltage like this, right, some constant or current like this, so then we could have told, right, if voltage induces, so this is case one, right? If voltage induces uniform across the antenna, effective height should be equal to physical height if voltage induces uniform. But in most of the cases, voltage induced may not be uniform. You know, if you have a wire like this, so if it is an antenna, dipole antenna, the voltage induced will be actually what? It's like an open circuited transmission line, right? So the voltage induced will be like this. It will be maximum at the ends and minimum at zero, and the current induced will be like this, right? It will be minimum at zero or zero at the end, right? And so this is the voltage and this is the current induced. It's not right. It's not uniform, right? So in this case, right, this is actually what, if V is uniform across the length, that is not practically possible, right? This case is not practically possible, right? In most of the cases, current distribution will not be uniform, right? In actual case, I'll write, in actual case, when I say current distribution, it means voltage distribution also, right? Okay. In actual case, current distribution is not uniform, right? Current distribution is not uniform. It can be actually what? It can be linear distribution or it can be sinusoid, right? Depending upon the length, right? It can be linear or sinusoid or whatever, right? So, which means it's not uniform. Most of the cases, it's not uniform. Then effective height, then effective height can be is related to physical height, as I'll write here, I average divided by I naught times physical height. So this is how, I know you didn't understand anything, right? I know you didn't understand anything what I'm telling, but please try to like note it down. So effective height is related to the physical aperture or physical height as I average by I naught times HP. So this term I average, this I average is actually what it is: average current distribution over the length. Current distribution over the length, right? Then I naught is the maximum value, right? I naught is the maximum value of current, right? I naught is the maximum value of current, right? Then this I average by I naught, what you are doing is you are dividing average value, right? So in this, you are dividing average value with the maximum value, right? So I can tell this I average by I naught, I average by I naught, right? It is normalized average current distribution. What do you mean by normalizing? Dividing something with its maximum value, right? Normalized average current distribution. This I naught, I average by I naught, this term is called normalized average current distribution. So I can define, I can write now. So physically you didn't understand anything, but not a problem. So effective height is the product of physical height and average current. So physical height and normalized average current. Sorry. Let me just quickly. And it's normalized average current and normalized. Please note it down. These are very, very important, right? Normalized average current distribution. Right. Normalized average current distribution is actually what? I average divided by I naught. Right. So this is another way of defining physical height, and it gives the relation between actual height and physical height. Right. So once again, I'll write. So this is very, very important. Effective height, right? Effective height is equal to, right? That is I average by I naught, into physical height. So this is very, very important. This is very, very important thing, right? So now we will take some examples, right? What actually is this I average? So initially what I told is, if the current distribution, so if you suppose, right, you have an antenna, right? You have an antenna like this, right? It has a physical length of HP that is equal to L, let us suppose, right? An antenna HP equal to L, right? Then it is immersed in some electric field. It is immersed in some electric field E, right? It is immersed in some electric field E, right? Then in this case, right, the voltage induced, right? The voltage induced actually what will be the voltage induced will not be uniformly distributed at each and every point on this antenna. Voltage induced will not be same, right? The voltage induced will not be same. It will be, right? Which means if it is a, for example, right, you take the case of actually what, a lambda by 2 dipole, right? A half wave dipole, right? If it is a half wave dipole, the voltage distribution will be something like this. On a half wave dipole, at the ends it will be maximum, and at the middle it will be minimum. And the current distribution, similar current distribution will be something like this, right? So we are interested in the current distribution. This is the current distribution. I'll call it as actually what? I of Z, right? If the antenna is placed along Z axis, the current distribution is actually what? I of Z. It is actually what the current distribution is. It is sinusoid, right? Current distribution is sinusoidal, right? And if you consider a short dipole, right? Then if you consider a short dipole, I'll take another example, right? If you consider a short dipole means length is much less compared to lambda by 2, right? If you consider short dipole, right? So I'll draw here a short dipole, right? For same wavelength, or right, for same wavelength, if the length of the antenna is reduced or wavelength is increased, or whatever, right? Then you can see the wavelength is this much, wavelength is this much, right? So, but in that, if you consider a very small region, the current distribution will be linear, right? So you can see the current distribution in a short dipole, right? This will be linear. It will be a small portion of actually what. So this is lambda by, say this is lambda by 2 dipole, and this is short dipole. So for a short dipole, current distribution I of z is actually what? Linear. So it's not a constant throughout the length. You can see at the end current is minimum and it is increasing to a value I naught. So and in this case also at the end current is actually what? 0 and it is increasing to a value equal to I naught. So in this case it was lambda by 2, it was a sinusoidal distribution, and in the case of a short dipole it is a linear distribution. So in these two cases we want to find out what is the effective height, right? In these two cases we have to find out what is the effective height given physical height is hp, right? That is what we are going to do next, right? So what we have done so far is we defined what is effective height in two ways, right? One is ratio of voltage induced to the incident electric field, or else in terms of physical aperture, physical length, it is a ratio, it is a product of normalized average current to physical height, right? So I know you didn't understand anything, but after we solve this problem, you will be getting some clarity. We are going to solve that, show that, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to use this particular equation, right? We are going to use this particular equation, right? So for these two cases, we'll find out what is the I average, right? Then we'll divide it with I naught and multiply it with HP. So we will get, so I have to prove, I should prove for a half wave dipole, effective height is 0.64 times physical height, and for a short dipole, effective height is 0.5 times physical height. This is what we are going to prove, right? So the question can be prove this, or it can come as a derivation, or else it can be problem or whatever, right? So for that we'll be making use of this particular equation. I'll tell this equation. This is the equation we are going to make use of. So I know you didn't understand what actually is this I average and all, but we'll see, right? We'll try to see if we can crack it, right? So just imagine, right, the case A, right? HP is equal to L is equal to lambda by 2, right? So then the current distribution, I'll be drawing only the current distribution, right? If the current is distributed like this, there will be actually what? Uneven distribution of voltage as well, right? The current distribution in this case will be like this, right? So at the ends it will be 0, and at the center it will be maximum I naught. So current distribution is sinusoid, right? In fact, this I of z, right? This I of z, if this is kept at origin, right? If the center of the antenna is origin and this is towards plus z and this is towards minus z, what actually is this I of z in terms of z and beta, all those things you'll study it in next module, but I'm just simply telling this. So it will be I naught sine 2 pi by lambda times, right? This L by 2 plus or minus z, right? You don't have to bother about this. You will see only in module 4, right? You don't even have to see this. I'm just telling this is how the current distribution will be. It's a sinusoidal distribution. It's a sinusoidal distribution, right? So we don't have to bother about this now. This is actually for module 4, next module, right? I'll teach you how this current distribution can be represented like this in module 4, right? In thin linear antenna, how current is distributed. But for the time being, what I want is, right? So this is not required for us. What I want is the effective height is I average divided by I naught times physical height. So what will be I average? So you can see, right? This is a sinusoid, right? This is a sinusoid, a half sinusoid. Say this is phase equal to 0, and this is phase equal to actually what? Pi, and this is phase equal to actually what? Pi by 2. So phase is changing from 0 to pi, right, of a sinusoid. So what is average? So this is, I can write it equivalently as I0 sine theta, right? I0 sine theta. So this theta should be actually what? This entire thing, but we don't have to bother about that now, right? You don't have to bother about this at all now. But now I'm taking it as I0 sine theta. Why? Because I need to find what is the average value. So what will be the average value? Right. So I average will be, right. So over a phase change of pi, right? I average will be 1 by pi over a half cycle. I'm calculating, right? Theta from 0 to pi, 1 by pi is theta from 0 to pi. I0 sine theta d theta, right? This is how we find average. And you know this will be equal to 2 pi I naught, right? You know this is equal to, you have already studied this. Average of sinusoid over a half cycle is 2 by pi I naught, right? So, what we can do is this I average, this is equal to 1 by pi, right? And I naught can be taken out. I naught is a constant, that is the maximum value. And integral sine theta d theta is actually what? Minus cos theta, and the limit is from 0 to pi. Integral sine theta d theta is minus cos theta, limit from 0 to pi. So this is equal to minus I naught by pi. Cos of pi is actually what? If I apply the limit, minus 1, and cos of 0 is 1. Right. So this is equal to I naught pi. So I average is equal to 2 I naught by pi. So you already know this, but I have chosen this procedure because I know the linear condition. That will not. So I average is this. So what will be HE? I average divided by I naught times physical height. So that is equal to 2 I naught by pi by I naught. So that will be 2 by pi, sorry, HP. So this will be approximately equal to 0.64 HP, right? This will be approximately, so HE is equal to, for a half wave dipole, lambda by 2 dipole. For a lambda by 2 dipole only, we'll have the sinusoid current distribution, exact sinusoid current distribution. HE will be equal to 0.64 times HP. So this is the physical significance is actually what? Even though the actual height is, if suppose the actual height is 1 unit, the effective height, which can say make the electric field induced voltage, will be only 64% of that. That is 0.64 unit, right? That is the meaning. It is something similar to aperture efficiency, right? But we are not calling it height efficiency, right? We'll call it normalized average current, right? So it is given to lambda by 2. So you substitute that HP equal to lambda by 2 here, you will get the effective height, right? You will get effective height of an antenna, half wave dipole antenna. If we substitute HB equal to lambda by 2, what will be HE? You can find out that. I'm not solving it, right? For lambda by 2, right? So that is for the half wave dipole. So I'll repeat once again. For half wave dipole, right, the current distribution was like this. It was a complete half sinusoid. Why? Because this length is lambda by 4. This length is actually what? Lambda by 4. Right. If this complete length L or HP or lambda by 2, right? So it's the current distribution is complete sinusoid. So the effective height is 0.64 HP. With this 0.64 is nothing but what? 2 by pi. That is the normalized average current. Right. Any doubt is there in this? Did you understand this? What I have done? Right. So I'm sure you have some doubt about the current distribution, but that we will clear in the next module. But apart from that, the procedure what I have done. Did you understand how average current is calculated, divided with I naught and multiplied with HP, and we got this? Please do respond. Please, someone please respond. Kirtana, did you understand that?
Yes, sir. Step I understood, sir.
Right. So okay, yeah. So that is the case of a lambda by 2 dipole. This is the result. Half wave dipole. So it's a problem as well, right? If it is asked as a problem, you should be able to solve. I will not solve any problem on this again, right? So next, case 2 was a short dipole, right? Case 2 was a short dipole. Short dipole means length that is equal to hp, physical length, should be much less compared to lambda by 2. For instance, let us assume let L or hp is equal to 0.1 lambda. Let us take it is equal to 0.1 lambda. It's just an example, right? If length is 0.1 times of lambda, we can call it as actually what? Short dipole. Everything depends upon the frequency of operation, right? Everything depends upon the frequency of operation. So given an antenna of length L, right, it can act as a lambda by 2 antenna for a wavelength, a given wavelength, and it can act as a short dipole for a higher wavelength. So everything depends upon frequency of operation or wavelength of operation, right? So in a short dipole, the current distribution will be, you can see if this is actually what, if placed along z-axis, this is z is equal to 0, and this is z is equal to hp by 2, right? Z is equal to hp by 2, and this is z is equal to hp, right, or L by 2 or whatever. The current distribution will be like this. It will be linear. Current distribution is linear, right? So I'll plot it as a what happens is, you can see here, current at z equal to 0 it is 0, and at z equal to L by 2 it reaches actually what, maximum. And similarly here also, right? So the average over this portion will be same as average over this portion. So, and that will in turn be same as actually what, average over this entire portion, right? So if I find average over this L by 2 portion, that would be more than sufficient, right? So here current distribution is linear. When I say current distribution is linear, I'll just plot a graph like this, right? Say this is z-axis, and if this is actually what, current, right, I or I of z. So you can see for z is equal to 0, current is 0, and for z is equal to L by 2, if the length is L, right, if the length is hp is equal to L, for z is equal to L by 2, the current is reaching maximum. This is the current distribution. So it's, right, the function is a straight line, you can see, right? So this is I0, this is maximum current, and it has got some slope, right? So I can write, right, this, if this is, right, I can write it in the form of y is equal to mx, right? Why? Because it's a straight line passing through origin, right? So here instead of y, I have actually what, I of z, right? Slope, I have to find out what is it, and instead of x, I have actually what, z. That's it, right? So what will be the slope here? In this case, slope will be equal to, slope m will be equal to, you can see, when z is changing from 0 to L by 2, current is changing from 0 to I0. So it is I0 minus 0 divided by L by 2 minus 0, right? That will be 2 I0 by L, right? For a length of L, the current changes by an amount 2 I0. That is actually what, over the length, over this length, that is how the current is distributed. So I can write, right, I can straight away write current as a linear function of z, right? Current as a linear function of z, I can write I of z is equal to, I'm writing I of z is equal to, right, slope times z, right, m z, that is actually what, 2 I0 by L times z. This is actually what, I of z. I of z I can write as 2 I0 by L times z. So what will be I average, right? Average is actually over a length of, say, from 0 to L by 2 length, current is increasing from 0 to I0. This is I of z, right? I of z over a length L by 2, right? So I average will be, I can write I average will be 1 by, over a length, total length is L by 2, 1 by L by 2 integral z from 0 to L by 2, integral z from 0 to L by 2, right? I of z dz. This is how I'll find average. It's similar to what we have done, right? In the earlier case, I used theta, right? As it was sinusoid, right? I use theta, but in this case, I'm using z as well, right? That's it, right? So I average is equal to 1 by L. So I can write it as 2 by L, where L is the total length of the antenna, right? Integral Z from 0 to L by 2, right? 2 by L, integral Z from 0 to L by 2. I of Z is nothing but what? 2 I naught by L times Z, then dz. This is actually what I of Z. I of Z is this entire thing, right? 2 I naught by L times Z times dz. So this is the integral which we have to evaluate, right? So this 2 I naught L, everything is constant, so I can take it out. So I can write it as actually what? If I take it out, it will be 4 I naught by L square integral Z dz is nothing but what? Z square by limit is from 0 to L by, the limit is from 0 to L. I can take outside. So it is 2 I naught by L square. And if you apply the limit, you will get actually what? L square by 4. Right. L by 2 if you apply L square by 4. So this L square and L square will get cancelled. And 2 by 4, it will be actually about 0.5. So I will get, this is equal to 0.5. I will get this equal to 0.5 I naught. So that is I average is equal to 0.5 I naught. So what will be effective height? So I can write effective height as, right, HE is equal to I average divided by I naught times HP. So that is equal to 0.5 I naught by I naught times HP. So that is nothing but what? For a short dipole, I can write now short dipole with linear current distribution, right? Linear current distribution. HE is equal to 0.5 HP, only 50%. For a short dipole, only 50% of the length will actually what contribute to voltage induction, right? Whereas if it was a half wave dipole, it was 64%. So this is the thing, right? So I'll once again repeat. So this HE, it can be defined as a ratio of voltage induced to the induced electric field, incident electric field, and the unit is meter, or else HE can be equated to HP as I average by I naught, I average by I naught times I average by I naught times HP, right? Or this result in more general form I can write as, please note it down, HE is equal to, how to find I average? To find I average, I have to integrate the current, right? So from current distribution is on along Z, Z from 0 to HP. HP is the actual length of antenna. Actually, this is how I should do. And I of Z dz, I should integrate I of Z over the length of the antenna, right? And that is I average by I naught is there. So I should divide it with I naught. So this is actually what the normalized average current, this times HP. So this is more general expression, right? So this is this integral Z from 0 to HP I of Z dz, right, by I naught, right? That will give actually what the average value, right? Then I should multiply it with HP, right? I should multiply it with HP. So this is the more general expression. But to solve problem, actually what, this is better. This is actually what simpler. This, in all the cases, the integration may not be from 0 to P, and at times we will have to divide it with something. So this, even though the standard definition is this, to solve problem, don't use this, please use this. And please remember, right, this I average is I average, how I average can be found out. That's it. So that is what we have to keep in mind. And for short lambda by 2 dipole, HE is equal to 0.64 HP, and for a short dipole, HE is equal to 0.5 HP. So these are the things we have learned so far, right? These are the things we have learned so far. And now we'll move on to the last agenda, right? How AE and HE are related, AE-HE relation. right? How AE and HE are related, right? That is what we have. So that expression is what we are going to derive now. I'll derive it fast, right? So please take down along with me itself. Suppose you have an antenna, right? A vertically mounted antenna of length L, right? Which is immersed in a electric field of same polarization, right? Suppose you have a vertically mounted antenna of length L, which is immersed in an electric field of same polarization. Suppose the induced voltage is V. Suppose the induced voltage of the antenna is V, and the effective height is HE, right? Suppose the induced voltage is V and the effective height is HE. You know what are each things. So I'm not writing it down as sentence, right? So you can, if you note it down, you will be able to remember. So I can write this induced voltage HE into E. So this I can write induced voltage V is equal to HE into, I'll call it equation number 1, right? Now, right, so this, if this is induced voltage, right, now I'm considering this antenna as, right, a equivalent circuit. I'm delivering this induced voltage to this antenna. This antenna has a radiation resistance RR, and it is connected to some load, right? So it is connected to some load with load resistor RL, right? So this antenna is delivering power to some load, right? The power delivered to the load is what we have to find out, right? So this antenna has a radiation resistance. This is actually what radiation resistance of antenna. This is the radiation resistance of antenna, right? And it is connected to some load with load resistor RL, right? This is actually what load resistance. This load can be anything. I'm assuming the load is purely resistive, right? So for maximum power transfer, suppose we are assuming this RR is matched with this RL, right? So for maximum power transfer, that is RR is equal to RL, or else I can tell matched. If the antenna is matched to the load, right? Antenna is matched to the load, right? Antenna is matched to the load, then RR is equal to RL, right? Then the power delivered to the load PR, right? So the power delivered to the load PR, right, can be found out as, right, PR, right? And if this voltage V is RMS voltage, suppose this voltage V is RMS voltage, and the field intensity is also RMS field intensity, what I mentioned, right? This power delivered to the load, power to the load, power delivered to the load by antenna, right? Power delivered by antenna, right? Antenna can be written as, right? This can be written as V square divided by 4 RR. You know, you have studied maximum power transfer theorem. This RR is equal to RL. What will happen? This RMS voltage will be divided equally. This will be V by 2. This will be V by 2. So the power is actually what? V square by R. That is V by 2 the whole square divided by RR. So this is actually what I'll call it equation number 2. Right. And we know V is equal to HE into, right. But equation number 1 says V is equal to HE into E, which implies PR can be written as HE square times E square divided by 4 RR. I replace, so I'll call it equation number 3. I replace this V with HE. So please assume all are RMS values. Please assume all are RMS values. So this is one way. And suppose, right, wherever with this antenna is there, suppose this antenna has some effective aperture AE. This antenna has some effective aperture AE, and the power density here it is SR. If the given field is E, right, this antenna has some effective aperture AE, and the power density at the antenna is SR, right? I can represent the same power delivered to the antenna PR as PR. The same power delivered, same thing can be represented as AE times SR. The same thing can be represented as AE times SR. But we know if E is not, if E is the RMS voltage, E is the RMS voltage, right? SR can be written as E RMS square by Z0, right? So this here E is actually what? RMS voltage itself. So I can write it is equal to AE times E square by Z0. This PR can also be found out like this, right? So equation 3 and 4 are same. Left hand side are same. So right hand side also ought to be same. So same. So if you equate equation 3 and 4, right? 3 equal to 4 implies you equate 3 and 4. What we have is if we equate 3 and 4, that is HE square E square by 4 RR, that is equal to E square by Z naught into AE. So if you equate this, right, we will get, so if you equate this, we will get, I'm writing it straight away as, right, AE can be expressed as, it is, you have to take this Z naught and E square here. E square and E square will get cancelled. So AE will be equal to HE square Z naught divided by 4 RR, right? 4 R, where Z naught is the intrinsic impedance of free space. This is equal to actually what? 120 pi, and this RR is the radiation resistance of the antenna. So this is how AE and HE are related. Or else I can write HE will be equal to 2 times, HE will be equal to 2 times square root of, right? 2 times square root of RR times AE divided by Z naught. 2 times RR times AE divided by Z naught, right? So this is how HE and AE are related, right? This is how HE and AE are related. So what we have done is simple. I'll just quickly explain what we have done. So we are assuming an antenna, right, with effective height HE and effective aperture AE, right? And E is the electric field intensity, right? And this antenna is immersed in this particular electric field intensity, RMS electric field intensity. Then the induced voltage is actually what? HE times E, right? And we can write if the antenna is matched to the load. So this load can be anything. If the antenna is matched to the load, right, we can write the power received by the antenna or power delivered by the antenna to the system, right? Effective power delivered by the antenna, V square by 4 RR, where V is actually what? The induced RMS voltage, right? V is induced RMS voltage. So that is equal to HE the whole square by 4 RR. So that is equation number 3, right? Then same thing can be expressed in terms of effective aperture. Like we need to equate relate effective aperture and A. So A times SR. So that SR will be equal to what? RMS field intensity divided by Z naught, where the Z naught is the intrinsic impedance of free space, that is equal to 120 pi. Right. Then we can, if we equate this equation number 3 and 4, we will get the relationship between HE and AE. So that is what I had to discuss today, right? So that was our agenda and it is done. Sorry, I took 1 minute extra. If anyone has any doubt, please feel free to ask. Otherwise, right, please do let me know whether you understood this or later on you will be able to appreciate this. If you read it once, will you be able to appreciate this? You just type it in and you can leave. Right, I'll consider that as attendance. I can see only 43 are here. Many were there initially, then people left out. Yeah, so please do type in whether you have some idea about what we have done today. So we studied about the effective height, right, and its definition. Then we found the effective height of the half-wave dipole and a short dipole, right? And we know how effective height and physical height is for any wire type antenna. Depending upon the current distribution, we should be able to find out the effective height, right? That is I average by I naught times HP. Then we derived a relationship between effective aperture and effective height, right? So that is what we have done. So that's it for today. Thank you for patient listening. We'll wind up the class. If you have any doubt, please stay back and ask it out. Otherwise, you can leave. Thank you so much. Right. Those who have doubt can stay back and ask it out.